For centuries, humanity danced on a precipice. Empires clashed like titans, leaving continents scarred and peoples weary. Borders shifted with the whims of conquest, and fear, not law, held dominion. But from the ashes of conflict, a flicker of hope. A yearning for order, for a world where nations stood not as adversaries, but as neighbors. This, the saga of the modern international order, a tapestry woven with triumphs and struggles, forged in the fires of human ambition and the yearning for peace. Act 1, Shattering the Foundations, 17th Century. In the crucible of the 30 Years' War, Europe writhed in agony. From 1618 to 1648, the continent bled. Historical sources estimate a staggering 8 million lives lost, a figure equivalent to 8% of Europe's population at the time. Towns lay in ruin, fields choked with weeds, and families shattered. From this abyss rose a chorus of dissent, led by intellectuals like Hugo Grotius, who challenged the tyranny of might. On the Law of War and Peace, his eloquent manifesto declared war no longer a free-for-all, but a subject to rules and limitations. His ideas resonated in the halls of Westphalia, where in 1648, diplomats from across Europe gathered to forge a new path. The Peace of Westphalia, a document etched in ink but etched deeper in the hearts of men, dared to break the chains of the past. It recognized the right of nations to self-govern, enshrined religious tolerance within empires, and outlawed private wars between states. This treaty, born from the ashes of conflict, dared to dream of a world where might did not always make right. Act 2, Building the Framework, 18th until 19th centuries. The Grand Waltz of Diplomats. Enter the Dance of Diplomats, a glittering ballet of negotiation and intrigue. From the elegant halls of Utrecht, where the Spanish Succession War found its end, to the Congress of Vienna, where a continent ravaged by Napoleon sought harmony. Europe pulsated with the rhythm of treaties and alliances. Metternich, the master puppeteer, orchestrated the concert of Europe, a fragile symphony of peace maintained by a delicate balance of power. Yet, under the polished veneer of diplomatic etiquette, tensions simmered. Nationalistic fervor, a rising tide across the continent, threatened to topple the carefully constructed edifice. The engine of trade and its shadow. The Industrial Revolution, a juggernaut of progress, roared into life. Steamships, ironclad and defiant, conquered the oceans, weaving a web of trade that entangled continents. Cotton from Egypt, tea from China, and coal from England flowed like vital arteries, nourishing economies and forging new connections. Yet, this glittering tapestry had a dark side. The scramble for resources fueled colonial ambitions, as European powers carved Africa like a sacrificial pie, sowing the seeds of future conflicts. Meanwhile, within nations, the gap between the wealthy and the working class yawned wider, a silent storm brewing beneath the surface. The gentle hand of humanity. From the battlefield carnage of Solferino rose a beacon of hope, Florence Nightingale, the lady with the lamp, who illuminated the darkness with her unwavering compassion. Her vision birthed the Red Cross, a shield of mercy amidst the barbarity of war. Across the globe, humanitarianism found its voice. Clara Barton championed the rights of prisoners of war, and Louis Pasteur's tireless pursuit of vaccines saved countless lives. These quiet heroes, armed with stethoscopes and bandages, stitched together a patchwork of progress, reminding the world that amidst the cold calculations of power, humanity still held sway. Act 3, The Tempestuous 20th Century. The Dance of Titans. The 20th century dawned with the promise of progress, but quickly stumbled into the abyss of unimaginable violence. The Great War, a monstrous leviathan birthed from the arrogance of empires, swallowed millions of lives in its iron jaws. Battlefields turned into mud-soaked graveyards, and Europe, once a vibrant tapestry of culture, lay in smoldering ruins. From this carnage, the Treaty of Versailles emerged, a fragile patchwork meant to prevent future bloodshed, but sown with seeds of discontent that would poison the soil for decades to come. Beyond the battlefield. But the 20th century wasn't just defined by war. From the ashes of conflict rose powerful movements for freedom and equality. Martin Luther King Jr.'s thunderous voice echoed across America, demanding justice for all. Nelson Mandela challenged apartheid in South Africa, his spirit unyielding in the face of oppression. Women, long relegated to the sidelines, raised their banners for equal rights, shattering glass ceilings and demanding their rightful place at the table. Meanwhile, technology, a double-edged sword, reshaped the world. We gazed in awe at the first humans walking on the moon, while fearing the mushroom clouds cast by the nuclear arms race. A fragile peace. In the aftermath of global devastation, nations sought a new path. The United Nations, a phoenix rising from the ashes of war, aimed to forge a world built on collective security and human rights. But the specter of the Cold War loomed large, casting a long shadow over every peace treaty and hopeful handshake. Nuclear arsenals bristled, a constant reminder of the precipice on which humanity teetered. The Berlin Wall, a stark symbol of division, snaked through a continent yearning for unity. Act 4, Navigating the Future. Shadow play in the digital age. The 21st century dawns in a digital age, where information flows like rivers and algorithms play puppet masters. Yet, amidst the convenience and connectivity, new shadows lurk. Hackers, invisible predators, infiltrate vulnerable systems, disrupting lives and sowing chaos. We wrestle with the double-edged sword of online communication, where voices both amplify and distort, and misinformation spreads like wildfire. And on the horizon, artificial intelligence, a powerful genie unleashed from the bottle, raises questions of ethics and control. Who wields this new power, and for what purpose? Building a sustainable future. But the greatest challenge of this century lies not in the digital realm, but in our physical world. Climate change, a monster born from our industrial greed, threatens to rewrite the very map of our planet. Rising sea levels engulf coastal cities, extreme weather events wreak havoc, and the delicate balance of nature teeters on the brink. Yet, amidst the despair, a chorus of hope rises. From the streets of global protests to the laboratories of innovative engineers, we see a growing commitment to a sustainable future. Renewable energy sources flicker like flames of optimism, and international cooperation, though fragile, begins to weave a web of collective action. The modern world, a tapestry woven with triumphs and struggles, echoes of the past mingling with whispers of the future. Climate change whispers its warnings, while technology's double-edged sword both empowers and endangers. Inequalities fester, discontent simmers. Yet, amidst the storm, a chorus of hope. Sustainable dreams flicker, fueled by collective action, individual voices, and a shared yearning for a brighter tomorrow. This is our story, ours to write. Let's build a future where borders fade, justice blooms, and Earth's beauty thrives. Together, we weave the next chapter, a chapter where humanity stands united, hand in hand, under the shared sky.